Hi friends, it's Jen from Jen's Extraordinary Life. Welcome to my channel. Hey, have you ever stripped and refinished a piece of wood furniture? Well, come with me. We're going to do that very thing today. I've got my friend Kimberly from Saltwater Chick Designs, and she's going to help me do it the right way. I do lots of things the Jennifer way. Trial and error and how to figure things out, but today hopefully I'll be able to show you the proper way to strip and refinish a piece of solid wood furniture. This is a piece that was my mom's, and when she passed it was something that had some sentimental value to me, and so that's what we're going to do today. She had painted it and I'm going to strip it and restore it to its original glory with a few well, you'll see. Come on, let's check it out. Okay, so I have my friend Kimberly here from Saltwater Chick Designs, and she restores furniture all the time. And so she's going to show us the proper way to strip this piece of furniture. And then we'll come back later and talk about cleaning it after it's been stripped and staining it and all the things. But let's talk about what materials we need, Kimberly.
Okay, you're gonna need some gloves, some rubber gloves. You're gonna need a container to hold your stripper. You're also going to need putty knives. There's an array, plastic, metal. Doesn't really matter. I use them both. You'll need a toothbrush or steel wool, wire brush to get any kind of nooks and crannies. If your piece has any ornate pieces, you'll need that. TSP cleaners after you strip. TSP is good. You can use vinegar mixed with water. You can also wipe it down with mineral spirits or denatured alcohol. We don't have it here, but you can use it. And you're going to need a stripper. This is the stripper that I always use. I love it. And then I just use inexpensive chip brushes because you can toss these when it's done.
What's going on with your stripper there, Kimberly?
I actually, on my way here, I dropped it in my driveway and have a little hole in it. It's fine. It's just I didn't want to toss the whole thing away because it's good. It's a very tiny hole, so I made it beautiful.
Okay, looks great. All right, so we have taken the table or the bench that we're going, this is the piece we're actually going to strip and redo. It has been stained, polyed, and then painted over is what it appears. And so we're going to strip this back to its original glory, and then I'm going to stain it. So we've just taken a disposable tablecloth from the Dollar Tree here, and actually a wooden box that some garland came in at Christmas, and laid that cardboard out and sat that on there on top of the table so that we can do all of this without killing our backs and our knees and everything. So
yeah, because you want something like this because when you strip, this is what I do. I strip it with my putty tool or whatever, and then I rake it off. And you don't want anything too thin because the stripper could possibly eat through it. So get something thick underneath your piece, so as you scrape off, you can just wipe it off and keep scraping.
Okay.
So shake this up really good. So for the top, okay. So then for the top, I just do that big old block, and then you just take your brush and just kind of slop it on.
So we're just trying to get coverage at this point.
Yes.
Does it have to be?
There's no right way. Just slop it on. Just as my technical term, slop it on, and just kind of get it on there. And if you need more, you can put it in that thing. That will.
Oh, okay.
So after we get all this on, depending on how many times your piece has been painted, polyed, the stripper will take longer to go through all those layers. You do a test piece, a little test spot in about 30 minutes to see. And then just kind of get it on there pretty thick, you know, I mean, not.
So there's cracks and stuff over here, so I'm just using this chip brush to put the stuff in those cracks, right?
You want to get it on, like I said, pretty, you know, not really thick, but, you know, thick enough to where it doesn't, you don't want it to dry, basically. Oh, it's already starting to work.
That's a good thing.
It has a nice orangey smell. You know, most strippers have a very pungent, like flash burning scent to it.
I was going to ask, should we have masked up for this or anything? But because
that's why I use Citrus Strip, because okay, again, people may tell you to mask. I use the stripper because it doesn't set off a major, like really bad odors, and so I do not mask. You just want to make sure you're outside or in a well ventilated area, just, you know, just in case. But
it actually has a very pleasant smell.
It smells like oranges.
Yeah, it smells like oranges. I like it. And so on this particular piece, there are some areas that are painted and some where the paint got missed.
Well, it's because there's poly underneath it. You can tell it was just painted over poly. It wasn't sanded or removed before it was painted.
But it's the same stripper is going to just take all of that off, and we're going to get it back to its original wood glory.
Correct.
Oh, I guess we should have mentioned probably that this is a solid wood piece.
Yes. Now again, you're not going to probably get it all off on this first. You'll get off as much, you know, as will come off, and then you'll probably have to apply the stripper again in some areas, which is fine. Oh yeah, see, look, Jen, it's already bubbling over here. Look. See how it bubbles up?
Let me bring the camera over and show that.
Yeah, it's already starting to work over there. You'll start seeing as the paint will come away from, see right here how it's bubbling, all that's working. I think we've got it pretty well. Oh wait, in here. There's really no right or wrong way to apply stripper. You just kind of want to get it in all the little crevices.
So at this point, we just let it sit for 20 or 30 minutes?
Yep, about 30 minutes. We'll come out and the paint's already dissolving. It's this poly underneath. Depending on how thick the poly was put on, which I don't think it was put on very thick. I mean, we could check it after 20 minutes and just do a test and see how it's coming off. Yeah, see, it's already starting on the top too. So yeah, we'll check it in 30 minutes and see where we stand on that. But like I said, after you strip it, you'll probably have some places that you'll want to hit again. You can do that again after you flip it over and do any, if the underside right here was painted, or, you know, anywhere we missed, basically.
Okay, all right.
So
we'll be back in 30 minutes. All right, so we're back. And
gloves.
We're gonna glove up.
Gloves. Oh yeah.
Okay, so what's next? It started to bubble, so
yeah. So we're gonna do we're just gonna take off a little bit just to see. It looks like it's ready. We're just gonna pick a spot, and you can just run your.
Oh my gosh, it comes off so easy.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I just love this stripper. And then, you know, you're gonna, depending on, like, if some areas got thin stripper, it may just need a little extra coat, but you'll just run.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is so easy.
Just kind of comes right off. Yeah.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. You're just gonna.
Yeah, and then you just take. That's why you want something underneath it. I mean, you could use paper towels, but you'll go through a lot of paper towels.
Let me move this camera over here and just kind of show how easy that's coming off.
Yeah, see?
Wow.
Yeah, see right
That's
there.
really easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just continue
Yeah.
to scrape this off.
In some places there might still be some poly. I mean, and like this area right here, this is with it must like a thin stripper. Just put some stuff on that.
I hear you, Mama. You hear that wind chime? Somebody gave that to me. It's a memorial wind chime.
Really?
All right, so we'll do another coat.
Yeah. And then we can, you know, hit the underneath layers if you want.
Okay. Oh, a tip about the paintbrushes is we saved them by putting them
Yeah, where did we
in.
put them?
They're right there in front of you in that
Yeah.
plastic bag.
Oh yeah. So they don't dry out. You do the same with paint. Stick them in the refrigerator.
Okay, so it's been a little bit. I've finished stripping this piece and then cleaned it with some TSP and got all of the residue off of it, and then lightly sanded some of the areas that were a little rough. And then I wiped it down with mineral spirits to get the remainder of all of the rough spots, all of the residue off, I should say. And then I brought it inside to decide what to do, because originally, y'all know my plan was to stain this, and I was going to stain it a dark Jacobine or Kona, but I am kind of loving it like it is. And then when I brought it inside where I'm going to place it, I like that the wood matches what's above it. But then if you continue in the entry to what is our music room, there's this door that I redid several years ago. Yes, I still have my Christmas up, y'all. Don't judge me. It's been that kind of year. But anyhow, we'll do a video on that later. This door that I love so much matches so well with this piece. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to stain it. I'm instead going to seal it with wax. So now I'm deciding if I'm going to use a dark wax or a clear wax. But look at all of these little, I mean, it's got so much character. I'm so curious what was there. And there's another spot. Where is it? Here, where something round was. And it looks like at one time somebody had tried to maybe fill in some of those things. I don't know. I have no idea how old this piece is, but the craftsmanship is amazing. I'll show you how it's held together with these. This is how it's held together. That, and then these pins. And this actually, I mean, that's all held together by, I mean, how cool is this? It's got where my mom's dog chewed on that. I was gonna fix it, and then I was like, you know what? No, that's part of the piece. It tells a story, right? So that's what the other end should look like. Anyhow, I'm loving it. So I'll be back after I decide if I'm going to use light or dark wax on it. So here's another little tip. Don't plan on completing a project like this in one day. I thought I was going to whip this out in one day, and it has actually been 3, and I still haven't decided how I'm going to finish it. But it took a full day to strip and clean it. So be prepared for that. A lot of that time is waiting for the layers of paint and polyurethane and whatever else was on it for that stripper to work its magic and pull that off. So we'll be back when I decide. Okay, my little bench has sat here in the living room for about a week, and every time I see it, I love it just a little bit more. I love what it reminds me of, but I love the character in it. It's just, I mean, look how cool it is. So I've decided what I'm going to do, finally. I'm not going to stain it. This is what I'm going to do. I've gotten this Minwax polyacrylic water-based sealant, and it is a clear satin, and all I'm going to do is just do a light coat of this on it. It's going to stay inside in the living room. It's not going to have any wear and tear to it. I was going to wax it. I was going to stain it. I was going to do lots of things to it, but I decided I'm going to leave it like it is because I love the character. But that's what I'm going to do, and I'll post some pictures of the finished product. Okay, y'all, I am so stinking pleased with how this bench turned out. For one, it's absolutely adorable. I completely see why my mama held on to it for as long as I can remember, probably at least 30 or 40 years. It's got so much character in it. But as I stripped each layer of paint off of it, it just revealed more and more of the craftsmanship of the piece. It is so well built. It is solid wood. It's put together well. And I just love it. So I just want to encourage you that if you have a piece that's been sitting around and maybe it's not looking its best right now, maybe it's been painted a dozen times, or maybe even once, maybe it's never been painted and it's just been chipped up or whatever. Give it a little bit of love, try something new, and bring some new life to something, to reuse it and repurpose it. Maybe you find something at a garage sale, or something that somebody's given away, or something that has been in your family for a hot minute. But I just encourage you to bring new life to some things. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's mine. And so if you like this kind of stuff, if you learned anything at all in this video, I would love for you to drop us a comment and tell us what you learned. And if you like our videos, I hope that you'll subscribe, and I hope that you'll come back for the next one, and I hope that you have an extraordinary life. Bye-bye. See you next one.